All right, this is take 2. The Axis powers. All right. You guys have looked over your questions, hopefully, and as we go down through here, you try to answer them, okay? World War II was fought between 2 major groups again, okay? They became known as the Axis powers and the Allies. The major Axis powers, Germany, Italy, and Japan, okay? That's who we consider to be the bad guys. I'm sure if you were in Italy, Germany, or Japan, you thought you were the good guy, okay? The forming of the Axis powers. The alliance began to form in 1936, okay? First, on October 15th, 1936, Germany and Italy signed a friendship treaty, you like that? That formed the Rome-German Axis. It was after this treaty that the Italian dictator, Mussolini,
It sounds like a pasta.
yeah, I know, used the term Axis to refer to their alliance. Shortly after this, on November 25th, 1936, Japan and Germany signs the Anti-Comintern Pact, which was a treaty against communism. Now, which country right now is communist? What do you think?
Italy, China.
Italy's not. China.
Italy,
China is getting that way.
Russia.
Russia.
Russia is the most one.
Russia is the big one right now. Yeah, because remember during World War I, Russia actually dropped out of World War I for the Russian Revolution back home.
Because soldiers were shooting each other.
That's it. So it was getting nasty. Okay? So they don't, but these guys wants to be dictators, but they don't believe in communism. Okay? I know, yeah, I know, it's a little weird. An even stronger alliance was signed when between Germany and Italy on May 22nd, 1939, and it was called the Pact of Steel. This treaty would later be called the Tripartite Pact, which Japan signed it on September 27th, 1940, and now the 3 Axis powers was allies in the war.
Tripartite Pact.
Okay? So, who was the 3 main countries of the Axis powers? And this is their dictators. And they made no bones about it, that they basically were dictators, okay? And of course, Germany, we all know the lovely and adorable Adolf Hitler.
What an amazing man.
He was the Chancellor of Germany in 1933. He became the Chancellor. Remember, he won by a fair election. It was after he gets elected that he kind of says, oh, by the way, we're not going to have any more of those.
The number 8.
And he became the Führer. Anybody remember what the Führer stood for? What's that? Leader, yeah. In 1934. He was a ruthless dictator who hated the Jewish people, and he wanted to purge Germany of all weak people. That included handicap, be it physically or mentally.
He said the perfect person was blonde with blue eyes.
Blonde,
And he was brown.
and he was tall, and he was short, black hair. And, yeah, I don't know. He wasn't hitting on all cylinders, I don't believe. He also wanted to take control of all of Europe, of course. Then you had Mussolini, who was the supreme. He wasn't just a dictator. He was the supreme dictator of Italy. He founded the concept of a fascist government where there is one leader and one party, and they have total power. He was an inspiration to Adolf Hitler. So right away, you know he was also a warm, sweet guy.
Yeah. A fascist dictator.
How could you go wrong, right? Japan had the emperor. Hirohito. And he reigned as emperor of Japan from 1926 until 1989.
Dang!
Okay? He remained the emperor after the war. The first time his subjects heard his voice was when he announced that Japan had surrendered on the radio. So he had been the emperor since 1926, and they did not hear his voice until 1945, 46.
It's like 20-something years, and then
some-
reign for like another 40 years.
Yeah.
So that's like 60 years of reign.
Yes.
How young was he? 20?
What was his name?
Hirohito.
Yeah, it's Hirohito. Okay. Now, other leaders. This is the guy we were talking about. Yeah, Himmler. He was the second in command of Hitler, and he commanded the Gestapo police and was in charge of the concentration camp. This guy, in my opinion,
What's that?
was worse than Hitler in his thinking.
Worse than
He
He was like.
he was the one that ran the concentration camps where they put the Jewish people. That came up with the various
babies.
types of torture and basically just horrible murders
Burning
of
babies.
those people. Yeah.
Is he in charge of the
This
And
guy,
ovens.
and he was in charge of the Gestapo,
And then ate
which
blood.
everyone was afraid of the
Well, he didn't
Gestapo.
eat
So he was second in
He
charge.
literally
of him.
threw
Yeah, he was second in command after Hitler.
If you were Jewish, you were put in an oven.
Yeah. Then you had Goring, he held the title of Prime Minister of Prussia. He was the commander of the German Air Force, which was called the Luftwaffe.
The Luftwaffe.
Okay.
Oh, the Luftwaffe.
Then you had this guy right here. This is probably one of the most brilliant generals of all time, Rommel. He was one of Germany's smartest generals. He commanded their army in Africa, and then the German army during the invasion of Normandy. He could hide entire battalions in the desert.
Who was he?
He was brilliant.
Wait, who?
Rommel. Rommel. Okay. Then you had Victor Emmanuel III. He was the king of Italy and head of the Italian army. In reality, he did whatever Mussolini told him to do until Mussolini was removed from power. And then you had the commander of the Italian Royal Army during World War II was a guy named Ugo Cavallero, Cavallero. Cavallero.
Cavaliers.
Okay. Japan, you had Tojo was the prime minister of Japan. Yamamoto was thought to be the best war strategist in command of the Japanese armed forces.
He was actually one of the guys. He was the one who wrote this thing.
Yeah, he was the commander of the Japanese Navy and the leader of the attack on Pearl Harbor.
It was this moment.
He said it was shameful to attack a sleeping enemy. They're gonna attack back.
Yeah, he said what his most famous quote was he was afraid that they had awoken a sleeping giant.
And he also lost I think two of his fingers in the.
Let's get through this, and then I would love to hear I'd love to hear what y'all know, all your knowledge, but let's get through the reading first, okay? Other countries in the Axis alliance, you had Hungary, Bulgaria, Romania, and Finland, believe it or not. Okay? Some of the interesting facts. The Pact of Steel was first called the Pact of Blood. But they changed the name thinking the public would not like it. What's not to like? The
Blood.
Pact of Blood. I mean, wow, that doesn't scream horror or murder or anything. Mussolini was called Deuce, or leader.
He took it.
Hitler picked a similar name in Germany. He called himself, of course, the Führer. At the peak of World War II, the Axis powers ruled much of Europe and Southeast Asia and Africa.
It was weird why they I know they were going for world domination, but why go for Africa? Why go for Africa then and not take
You know how
over
big
the
Africa is? Think
No,
about
Because they wanted the
Think
an
about how
easy
big
win.
Africa is and the resources that they probably have.
And they also wanted an easy win because they're going to fight tanks over here.
Yeah,
Some people in Italy call the Italian Empire the New Roman Empire. The Italians conquered Ethiopia and Albania prior to the breakout of World War II, and they were the first major power to surrender to the Allies.
Who was?
Italy. Okay, you will find your reading and questions on your classwork page, obviously. Okay, that's about it. Good luck to you, and we'll talk to you later.